Hey y'all, how you doing today? Uh, Coming to you again from the garage, and it sounds like I'm getting a cat scan. My cat is in here again, making himself very well known. So you'll probably hear him throughout the video. See, just like that. So, what I want to go over with today, what I want to talk to you about, and I realized earlier today, I have never bothered to really tell anybody about just some of the stuff you're going to need when you go and start working on these old vehicles uh, and even newer vehicles. And these are things that you're going to find very, very helpful and really make your job a lot easier. Especially, it's just going to make your job easier right off the get go, right from the word go. All right. So I'm going to take you off the stand or the vise. Had the selfie stick clamped in the vise. So there you go. All right. Um, Now, don't be intimidated by this. Okay, this is not something where I'm sitting here saying, okay, you got to go out here and you got to buy all this stuff right up front, or you're crap, or you suck, or whatever. No, uh, this is stuff you should be going out here and buying to use on your own projects, but you don't have to buy it all at once. You can build it up over time. Okay, so now, um, tell you what, we'll probably start off with the most common stuff, and that's going to be brake parts cleaner. Okay. Now, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I'm not sponsored by anyone at all. So, uh, some of this, I mean, like this, is generic, and it works, but it works pretty good. All right. This here probably works just a little bit better. It's non-chlorinated. I like the non-chlorinated because I don't have to worry too much. Let me get you back in the stand here, okay? I don't have to worry too much about uh, problems with the. If I use this on something I'm going to weld on, I don't have to worry about any kind of chlorine gas or anything like that. So, what I'm going to tell you about it is that try to pay attention. If it's chlorinated, if it's non-chlorinated, it means it's not going to have chlorine gas in it or any kind of chlorine type chemical in it. Okay, so that's going to be pretty good for you. Now, this is the most common stuff. There's plenty of different brands of this. They all work pretty good at cleaning. Of course, if you're cleaning something that's very oily, greasy, nasty, uh, old toothbrushes, stuff like that helps tremendously. Okay. All right. So we've covered that. Also, there's carburetor cleaner. I don't have any here right now, but that works exceptionally well. That works really good at cleaning stuff too. Now, another good cleaner, and also pretty good at uh, loosening up or making just as a general lubricant, and also as a also keep bushings from squeaking and things like that, is WD-40 or a product like WD-40. I like it really good on like rubber bushings, plastic bushings, things like that. I don't like it so much as a penetrating lubricant. However, if that's all I've got, that's what I'm going to work with. Now, also too, um, excuse me. Also too, um, it's pretty darn good as a protectant, and it's really good as something to help clean surfaces as a cleaner. So, and I like this spray top too. It's got that like that, which you can take these off and use them on other cans. So just something to be aware of. Now, let's see here. We're gonna clean the countertop up here just a little bit. All right, see. So pretty good as a cleaner. Um, Also has a lot of other uses. Probably even use this on drag cars, like on the rear quarter panels, where that you're going to get like the rubber thrown up from the slicks. Might even help keep that from building up on there. All right, that's one. Now, as penetrating lubricants go, right here for the money, this is probably one of the better ones out there. Maybe even the best one out there for the money. But this one is really good as a general lubricant, really good as a penetrating lubricant, and really good as a protectant. Okay, this one is even better as a penetrating lubricant. This one is pretty expensive though. You're probably looking at about $10, $11, $12 can. But now when it comes to something that is going to work really, really good, the Deep Creep Seafoam Deep Creep is the best, one of the best ones out there. Some other people has their own picks and their own ideas, but that's one of the best ones that I know of. Okay, and that's readily available pretty much everywhere. Okay, Walmart, auto parts stores, everywhere. So there you go. Now here's something here. It's synthetic grease. Okay, as you can tell, I've been using it some. Now, synthetic grease. Why you should be using this? Because regular petroleum that's, pumped up out of the ground, the old dinosaur juice, that stuff is great, but the synthetic is even better. Okay? My truck, 350,000 miles and counting, over 350,000 miles and counting, and I use the synthetic grease in all the ball joints, U-joints, tie rod ends, all of that stuff. And ever since I started using this stuff, I've had I've had extremely long life on all that stuff. I've had very little failures. So, just something to keep in mind. Now, something else you're going to be using. So, definitely start keeping this in mind when you start getting, you're replacing ball joints, tie rod ends, and things like that. And you're thinking to yourself, hey, maybe I need to be using something like this to help out with wear and tear on all those items. You definitely should be considering it. You can use regular standard grease, conventional greases, but there were some people going to, there were people talking about using synthetic greases in the 50s and synthetic lubricants in the 50s. I mean, come on, it's 2020. If you're still using, conventional lubricants in 2020, I mean, come on, man. Yes, the synthetics are more expensive, but they are worth it. I'm just here to tell you, they are worth it. Now, again, I'm not being sponsored by anybody. I'm doing this all on my own. I'm just passing this information along to you all. And I don't want you to think that I am getting anything out of any of this, because I'm not. I'm just passing along the information. So, another thing. Silicone. You're going to use silicone. You're going to need it. I've got the Ultra Blue here, and I got the Ultra Copper. There's also a black, Ultra Black, which I like really well. The Ultra Blue, honestly, I got this for free from somebody, and but it's actually worked really well. I'm surprised that it's worked as well as it has. Number one key thing about using any silicone, use it sparingly. A little dab will do you, okay? If you can get away with a thin bead instead of a big, wide, broad, bunch of goop all around through there, use the whole entire tube on like one gasket. Come on. A little self-restraint. The old saying is, if some is good, a lot is better. In the case of silicone, no, it isn't, because this can get into the oil passages or in the coolant passages and plug things up. So it's great to use because it is a great sealant. Either one of these. But silicone, either one of these are a great sealant, and they're great to use for that. But when you use too much, it's definitely a very bad situation. Okay. Now, we're moving on to thread lockers and sealants, pipe thread sealants. Now, I know some of y'all will think, oh, pipe thread sealant, hey, I'll go get that tape and I'll wrap that tape around the threads and that'll be great. Well, okay, fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. That's your business. But me, I'm going to go get something like this, not necessarily this brand, not necessarily the Caterpillar brand. Pipe thread sealant, though, works wonders because you can take this and you can put it on a thread, on some threads going into, let's say, an engine block or anything else for that matter, and it's just going to seal up everything. It's going to seal up those pipe threads. Okay, let's say you got a bolt going that taps into a cooling passage. A little bit of this on the end and a little bit of that on there, and guess what? You don't have to worry about which way it goes on the threads. You just have to put some on the threads, smear it into the threads, put the bolt in the hole, and you're pretty much done. Okay? Thread lock. Oh, one more other thing. Thread sealant is sealant. It's sealant. It's not a locker. Okay? So, just something to keep in mind. This does not lock the threads. You don't have to worry about this locking the threads up on your particular item. I know, I've been using it for 20 years, okay? It does not lock up the threads, okay? If it did, there's something else going on, okay? Thread locker. Now, there are like 3 common ones that I know of. There's blue, there's red, and there's green. Green is the penetrating kind. Red is the much more serious. Blue is the less, not as serious as the red. It's not as strong. Okay, so something else you're going to probably need to be using from time to time. Not on everything though. So again, use it sparingly. Read your manuals. Read your directions. Okay. Now, here, right here. Dielectric grease. Yeah, there we go. No, sorry. Dielectric grease. Okay. Excellent product. Basic uses. Electrical connections. Perfect for that. Okay. So use this on your electrical connections and it works wonders. You don't have to worry about electrical connections getting corroded or anything else. All right, especially if you got an electrical connection that's, you know, maybe getting like a trailer, where the trailer hooks up to on your truck, you know, the trailer plug. There you go, perfect for that. So just something to think about. Oh, also too, if you have something that needs to be lubricated but it cannot, you know, it's maybe plastic or rubber, and you know that a petroleum lubricant is going to damage it, this right here might be the answer. Okay, so something to think about. Antiseize. Now you can get this in a tube, like this one here. This is the silver antiseize. Excellent for all sorts of threads that you know are going to be seeing water, moisture, dirt, grime, filth, like lug nuts. Yeah, lug nuts. Or spark plugs, spark plug threads in, got a little fly here. Spark plug threads in aluminum heads. Get away from me, fly. Okay. So, another good item for this. Another good use, okay? There's plenty of other uses, you know, if you know that the back on flies. I think it was a mosquito. My apologies to flies everywhere. Okay, so, but yes, which of course you can get the antiseize in the larger tubs like this one. As you can see, this one's been used a lot, but it works exceptionally well. The great thing about antiseize and why you want to use it is that when you go back on something and you take it apart, it just comes apart. Okay? And it's a thread lubricant. Okay? So you're not fighting the corrosion, you're not fighting the dirt, you're not fighting all that crap that can sometimes build up on threads. Now, of course, there are some places where this is very welcome and it's very useful, and then there's some places where this won't work. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. Of course, you got the copper antiseize, and if yours dries out, neat little tip: put a little bit of engine oil in there. Helps out tremendously. Okay. So, as you can see, the label's gone on this one here. Now, of course, we have our JB welds. All right, your epoxies, your two-part epoxies. Very, very useful, very handy. Definitely something you want to keep in mind. These two things here, I do not do brake jobs without them. Okay, I don't care what I'm doing a brake job on. If it's any kind of passenger car, pickup truck, anything like that, even big 1-ton trucks and all of that, I don't do brake jobs without these. Okay, this is your brake, your ceramic. This is a very high temperature, extreme temperature. Yeah, ceramic extreme brake parts lubricant. So this is great to allow your calipers to slide on the guides and everything like that. So that's what you would need something like this. Okay, you don't have to have this particular brand, and it doesn't have to be extreme ceramic. I went for the higher dollar stuff. So sue me. All right, this brake quiet. This stuff is excellent. I've been using this stuff for more than 20 years. Not this particular can, mind you, but I have been using this stuff for more than 20 years. It has never let me down. It is excellent, excellent, excellent product. What you do, simple to use. I mean, cake. This stuff is so simple, and it solves that annoying squeaking brake problems that you hear on vehicles from time to time. Somebody maybe coming down the road in a really cool, pimped out ride, I mean, oh man, they've got it really just all tricked out like crazy, and then they hit the brakes, and then it's like, I mean, come on, you couldn't have spent $6 or $7 on a can of this. I mean, come on. All right, easy to use. Take your brake pad, this brake pad, flip it over to where that the side that is touching the rotor is now turned down. The back side that touches the caliper is where you're going to put this on. Okay, you just spray this on like paint. All right, you put 2 or 3 coats on the back of your brake pad, the brake pad backing plate, the side that touches the caliper or the caliper piston. Okay, assemble it, and there you go. It's done. Over with. No more squeaky brakes. Okay, but caution. You need to put this on before you put the brake pads on the vehicle for even the very first time. Okay? All right. Yep. Ancient tool, isn't it? But you know what? Highly effective. Very simple, very old, and a lot of people think that this is something that was replaced by that, and it isn't. All right, this is good, but it has its place, just like this does. So this, your oil can, your squirt can, has that nice little fine tip right there. Puts oil in a small little area. You're not spraying it all over a larger area. You're putting it in a small area. And not only that, you can put the oil in here that you want. So particular jobs, maybe you need to have transmission fluid in a certain small area. Instead of pouring it out of a quart jug, a quart bottle, you could have it in something like this. And you won't have a big mess. Same goes for engine oil. You put any kind of engine oil in here you want. So there you go. All right, 2 more things. Last but definitely not least, paper towels. You're gonna have to have some sort of rags or paper towels. See, I've already been using this one here, and I just tore it off a minute ago. You saw me. So these are a little bit pricey, I do admit, but when it comes to being able to use something and just grab it and tear it off and use it, this is great. Okay? Hand cleaner. When the job is done, right? Just get yourself some hand cleaner. Yes, I've got the Zep Cherry Bomb. You don't have to use the Zep. You can use any brand you want. Again, I'm not being sponsored by anybody. I'm just saying, this is what I've got. This is what I like. This is what I use. So, there's the cat. He's back. So, anyway, what you need to keep in mind is that while you could go out here and spend a small fortune on all of this stuff, one thing to keep in mind is that you don't have to buy it all at once. Something else to keep in mind is that when you are going to go do a job, if you're just going into the parts store and you're picking up maybe something for your car, maybe you're just getting an oil change, go ahead and pick up 1 or 2 of these items. Have them on your workbench or in your car, ready to be used. Okay? You know, have them in your garage, your carport. My cat over there, he's such a hassle. Okay, have them there ready for you to use when you need them. Okay, that's the whole point. All right, so, and if you have family members, you know, if you're still living at home with your folks, you might want to have your stuff in a lockable cabinet. Because let's just face it, there's going to be some family members, they're going to come along and they're going to use everything you've got, and they're never going to tell you. And then when they get done, they're going to say, "Oh, you're out of this." And you say, "Well, it was full just like a day or 2 ago." You know, and they say, yeah, it was, but I used it. Well, thanks for asking. You know, so that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, all right, I've got plenty to do, as usual. So I've got to put away all this stuff now. So anyway, but yeah, get all of the stuff you need to help yourself out, because there's going to be a lot of times when you're going to be working on this stuff, on all of these vehicles, and you know, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a car, truck, a lawnmower, whatever. The thing you need to remember is, or even bicycles, for God's sakes. Okay, so the thing to remember is, make your time working on this stuff a lot more rewarding. Make life easier on you. All right, so that way you can get this job done, and it's not such a tremendous hassle for you. Okay, and you just get it done and over with. Move on. All right, I'm going to sign off now. So thank you very much for watching, and do have a great day. All right. Oh, if you got any questions, comments, ideas, anything, put them down below. Okay. And James says hi. So anyway, pain in the rear. Aren't you, James? All right. Thank you very much. God bless.